Hi, today is Friday, July 31st, 2026. Let's read interesting article that comes from the Daily Beast News. Trump blow as Dem star Ossoff gets massive boost in key race. One of Donald Trump's biggest political targets has had a significant boost in his re-election prospects in the latest sign of the treacherous battle Republicans face at this year's midterms. Right? A lot of good expression. At this year's midterms, a significant boost in the latest sign of treacherous battle. One of the Donald Trump's biggest political targets has had a significant boost in his re-election prospects, right? That's a good expression, man. In the latest sign of treacherous battle Republicans face at this year's midterms, Democrat rising star Jon Ossoff, the most vulnerable Democratic senator up for re-election this year, was bolstered on Thursday when a key forecaster shifted his race for Georgia from leans Democrat to likely Democrat, right? Leans Democrat. I leans Republican. I leans liberal, right? I lean liberal. Leans Democrat. The state leans Democrat, or the state is likely Democrat. The latest rating from the political publication Sabato's crystal ball is an ominous sign for Republicans in a traditionally conservative state, and a blow for Trump, who has set his sights on Ossoff ever since he helped Joe Biden flip Georgia in 2022. What? A blow for Trump, who has set his sights on Ossoff ever since he helped Joe Biden flip Georgia in 22. So Georgia used to be a Republican, right? But when Joe Biden ran for presidency in 2020, this Ossoff helped Joe Biden flip Georgia. So that's why Trump has set his sights on Ossoff, right? He just wants to kill Ossoff, figuratively, like a sniper sets his sights on his target, right? So this is good expression. Trump has set his sights on Ossoff ever since he helped Joe Biden flip Georgia in 22. Flip Georgia in 22. Flip Georgia, flipping, right? Flip Georgia in 2022. Flip Georgia has set his sights on Ossoff. Oh man. He reminds me of Pinky Herman. He reminds me of Pinky Herman. Did you ever see Pinky Herman? Trump asked supporters at a rally near Atlanta last week in an apparent mistaken reference to the film character Pee Wee Herman. But Georgia, while Trump has backed self-described mega warrior Mike Collins, is far from the only problem. The latest Sabato crystal ball, the weekly newsletter founded by veteran political analyst Larry Sabato, also pushed 5 Republican-held House seats towards Democrats, including the New York district of Trump ally Mike Lawler. This brings the number of toss-up districts to 20 and underscores headwinds for White House grappling with voter anger over everything from affordability, house affordability, right? The war in Iran and Trump's own plummeting approval ratings, plummeting approval ratings. This brings the number of toss-up districts to 20, underscores headwinds for the White House grappling with voter anger over everything from affordability, the war in Iran, and Trump's own plummeting approval ratings. Headwinds, right? Headwinds. Opposing wind. It's difficult when you move forward. Headwinds. Toss-up states. Toss-up districts. Voter anger. Plummeting approval ratings. The Democratic lead is certainly more robust now than it would have been for Republicans in 2022. Sabato's crystal ball managing editor Kyle Kondik told the Daily Beast, a reference to the last midterm elections when many at the time expected a Republican red wave. Midterm, right? Midterm, to the last midterm. He added that Ossoff had also run a strong campaign against Collins, who has faced heavy scrutiny over alleged ties to neo-Nazi propaganda, including his son-in-law's online white nationalist activity. Right? He's a neo-Nazi, maybe chauvinist, not sure. Ossoff had also run a strong campaign against Collins. Ossoff had also run a strong campaign against Collins. Toss-up districts. Flip the coin, flip the voter anger. I think if we got to November and John Ossoff lost, it would be a huge surprise, Kondik said. A CNN poll recently placed Ossoff as the new front-runner for the 2028 presidential nomination, surging ahead of another popular Democrat, California Governor Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom had an affair 20 years ago, but he looks handsome stud, so it would be very funny. It would be good if he becomes president. The rising fortunes of the 39-year-old Democrat are somewhat surprising given Georgia's history as a Republican stronghold, bastion, right? Republican stronghold, but Joe Biden flipped Georgia in 2022. Only 3 Democratic presidents have owned the state: native son Jimmy Carter, Southerner Bill Clinton, and Joe Biden. Because Georgia is a strong Republican stronghold. Flip the coin, flip the state. But Ossoff has been a prolific fundraiser, appealing to both the Democratic base and swing voters, while building a reputation holding Trump and his officials to account. Right? Swing voters. Are you a swinger? Holding Trump and his officials to account. This month, for instance, Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth was left stumbling after Ossoff used the defense secretary's own words on the Iran war to give him a blistering grilling on Capitol Hill. Yeah, giving him a blistering grilling. Giving him a blistering grilling on Capitol Hill. Swing voters, right? Holding them account. The Democrat also had another viral moment, taking Trump's nominee for Director of National Intelligence to task over the president's debunked claims about 2020 election fraud. Debunked claims, right? Claims turn out to be bad, vile, unfounded, debunked claims. Who won the 2020 election? Ossoff asked nominee Jay Clayton. "I'm not going to do this with you," said Clayton, sparking several rounds of back and forth before Ossoff went for the mic drop moment. "You refuse to answer a basic question about who won a presidential election, but you ask to lead America's intelligence community. Isn't it humiliating to be unable to answer this question, to have to indulge the president's delusions?" The latest ratings from Sabato's crystal ball show 5 seats are moving from leans Republican to straight toss-ups. Toss-ups, right? Toss-ups. Toss-ups. New York's 17th District, North Carolina's 1st District, and 11th District, Florida's 7th District, and Pennsylvania's 8th District. Wow, so it's midterms. The Ohio seat of Republican Max Miller, who is facing serious allegations of domestic abuse, which he denies, also shifted from likely Republican to leans Republican. Trump is not on the ballot for the midterms, but is campaigning on behalf of Republicans he has endorsed, which would end up being a blessing or a curse come November, right? I hope it's a blessing, because he's out there helping his colleagues. It's interesting because I think Republicans strategically have made a bet that emphasizing president is a better bet than de-emphasizing him. Kondik said, a better bet, a better bet, a better bet, right? A better bet. They want to try to use the president to try to motivate some irregular voters, swing voters, to come out, but there are dangers in it. Read more at the Daily Beast. Now, that's enough. A better bet, swing voters, flip Georgia in 2022, midterms, a ballot. Held him and his officials to account. A blessing, bad bet. So we go back and see what I stored to remember. Debunked claims, toss-ups, right? Toss-ups, debunked claims, duplicate. Swing voters, reputation, holding Trump and his officials to account, giving him a blistering grill on Capitol Hill, giving him a blistering grill on Capitol Hill, giving him a blistering grill on Capitol Hill. A Republican stronghold, a Republican stronghold, a Republican stronghold. Toss-up districts, headwinds, voter anger, plummeting approval ratings to the last midterm. Ossoff had also run a strong campaign against Collins. Duplicate has had a significant boost prospects in the latest sign of the dangerous battle Republicans face at this year's midterms. Leans Democrat to likely Democrat, has set his sights on Ossoff ever since he helped Joe Biden flip Georgia in 22. Has set his sights on Ossoff ever since he helped Joe Biden flip Georgia in 22. Has set his sights on Ossoff. Well, that's it. Have a great time. Bye-bye. TGIF.